Good morning and welcome to the last 2 days of distance learning. Today we're going to be learning about the analog clock and the digital clock in order to tell time. I want to show you first on the analog clock how it works. So this is the long minutes hand that shows the minutes, that counts the minutes, the long one. And I'm gonna leave it right there pointing at 12 because what we're gonna be counting hour by hour. So this pink one, the short one, is the hours hand. And we're gonna start really late at night. So late that it's midnight. And that's 12 p.m. or midnight. You all probably are asleep at that time. And then 1 hour later, it is already 1 a.m., 1 in the morning. 1 hour later, it's 2 a.m., 2 a.m. o'clock. 1 hour later, it's 3 o'clock a.m. in the morning. 1 hour later, it's 4 a.m. 1 hour later, it's 5 a.m., still too early to wake up. 1 hour later, it's 6 a.m. 1 hour later is 7 a.m., and by this time, you all should be waking up if you need to go to school. 1 hour later is gonna be 8 a.m. 1 hour later is 9 a.m. 1 hour later is 10 a.m., 10 in the morning. 1 hour later is 11 a.m., 11 in the morning. And 1 hour later, we're back at 12, but this time it's not midnight, it is midday, it is noon, time to eat lunch. Now we're gonna be moving around the minutes hand, the long one that counts the minutes. And in the analog clock, each one of those hash marks that you see all around the clock represent 1 minute. So let's get started. We start again pointing straight up at 12, and then you count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And 5 is important because that's when the face of the clock has a 1 for 1 hour. But if you only count the hash marks, that's 5, and it represents 5 minutes. That's why we have a 5 here. And then you continue 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And at 10, that's where the 2 hours is. But it's 2 hours, it's shows the same as 10 minutes. So this is gonna be a 10 minutes. So again, 0, 5, 10. So over here we should have 15. Let's see, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 minutes. So we can skip count by 5s all around the clock to complete the minutes. 15 and 5 more is gonna be 20 minutes. 5 more is gonna be 25 minutes. 5 more is gonna be 30 minutes, which by the way is half an hour. 5 more minutes, that's gonna be 35 minutes, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, 50 minutes, 55 minutes, and then 60 minutes. And we completed one whole lap around the clock. that represents only 1 hour. A very important thing to consider when you're reading the analog clock is that the hours hand points at the hours, and yes, the hours is the number that you see printed, written right there on the face of the clock. So in this case, the hours hand is pointing at 9, so yes, it is either 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. But if it is not pointing straight at 9, but slightly ahead, so it's still 9. It's still 9. But now it is getting closer to number 10. But it's still number 9, even though it is closer to 10. I see a lot of students thinking that when the hours hand points in this direction, they see that it is actually closer to 10 than it is to 9. So they say it is 10 already, but it's not. It's still 9. It is not 10 until it points straight at 10 this way. It needs to be really straight. But if it is just a little before, then it's still 9. So let's see, let's try over here at 2. If it points straight at 2, then yes, it is 2. If it points a little ahead of 2, it's still 2. Then it keeps moving and it gets closer to 3, but not quite 3 yet. So it's still 2, It is not 3 until it points straight, in a straight line to number 3, or 3 hours. So that's how the analog clock works. It has the 2 hands, hours and minutes. Hours is the short, minutes is the long. The numbers printed on the face of the clock are the hours. And the minutes, those are the hash marks that you have to count by 5s. Tomorrow we're gonna see the rest of the packet and solve some of the problems that you have for analog and digital clock.